Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time it is where you are. Could be any time of day. Welcome to a milestone episode. Episode number 200 of Wednesday Afternoon Live with me, SaleenDriver. The longest running Wednesday afternoon live stream in all of YouTube that I know of. The show that once again will endeavor to prove that we are the show about nothing in particular. And I think we do a pretty successful job of that week in and week out. Just think, 200 episodes ago, I fired this live stream up with the idea that since I was kind of stuck in the house with the Wuhan Red Death and the pandemic that we were all affected by, it seems like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? I just had the idea of killing some time in an afternoon with nothing else going on, stuck in the house, blah, blah, blah. And I tried to do it week in and week out consistently with some gaps here and there for various reasons, most of them personal. And got to thank my friend Vic2 Productions for stepping in and stepping up when I wasn't available to do streaming. And some of that was down to personal reasons on my part. Some of that was down to taking care of my dad, taking priority over this. Let's see who's already here. Nate the Great. He was not the first one in here. Technically, Baylor Man was the first guy in here with a hashtag Fire Rhodes. Rhodes? Is that how you pronounce it? But Nate was the second person in here. Matt Dumit's here, of course. Ramajamma Taylor, greetings and salutations to you, my friend. Alex Mid 123 coming in with the first celebratory comment. MAGA, indeed. Steve Pearson's here. It is a beautiful day indeed. A little cloudy here, but definitely a beautiful day. Battle Angel, one of my mods, and still, in my humble opinion, the most put upon and patient woman in all of the internet. Sven is here from Germany, and Germany, I believe, is like 5 hours ahead of us, so it's about 8 in the evening. And that is spam. Never mind that. Albert Sanchez here. Good to see you. Well, Baylor Man, you and I are in the same boat. We both need new coaches. We both need new ADs. We both need new everything. By the way, how is my microphone coming in? Is it coming in okay? I am using a different browser today with different settings on the StreamYard, and hopefully that sounds pretty good. 300 plus electoral and popular vote. Yeah, is it up to 300 now? The last report I showed is 277 for Trump and less for the pole dancer. So for those of you who aren't paying attention or don't care, there was an election last night. And believe it or not, it appears, I only say appears because it's still early, and things can and will happen, I'm sure, between now and the certification date. It does appear that Donald Trump won the presidential election over Kamala Harris. And it does appear that the Republicans have taken control of the Senate. Last I saw was 52 Republicans, 42 Democrats, and one communist who's going to obviously caucus with the Democrats. And the House was still up for grabs at the moment, so that might take a little while. And of course, that is the opportunity for the shenanigans of which I speak. And then there will be also more shenanigans, I'm sure, later. I also just saw and posted on my Facebook page that there was a report from Daily Wire that Jack Smith, the federal so-called prosecutor, who is unconstitutional in and of himself, is being fired by the Department of Injustice due to the fact that you cannot prosecute a sitting president. And since the trials that he would have led and probably would have been overturned anyway wouldn't happen until after Trump is inaugurated, there was no more need for Jack Smith, so he has been dismissed. Goes to Melissa May. Good to see you, sir. And look who's here. I thought that Slim Shady Canes was never going to make an appearance on one of my live streams ever again. And yet there he is. Gives me the opportunity to thank Slim Shady Canes on behalf of Gator Nation for the absolute beatdown that the Miami Hurricanes put on the Criminals. And I was very, very happy. And so I say thank you on behalf of a grateful Gator Nation to put a beat down on the Criminals. Makes me happy. Big Two Productions is here. Good afternoon to you, sir. Good to see you. Welcome, one and all, to episode 200 of Wednesday Afternoon Live with SaleenDriver. That would be me. Certainly a big milestone in terms of the show's history. And once again, because he wasn't in here when I said it before, I'll say it again, with him being here, thanks to Big Two Productions for taking up the reins and the mantle of Wednesday Afternoon Live on those days, many of them in a row, unfortunately, when I was not able to do it myself. So Big Two kept the fires burning, and that is a good thing. Yes, we did it, Celine. Yes, we did it. We defeated the radical left. Well, I hope so. It's going to take more than one election cycle to repair what's been done, but at least we can get started on trying to fix things. Trump is not a fascist, so please let's be civil. But the more important news is Slim is in the comments section, and he's attending a live stream. At least I still think he is in the comments, but Slim Shady Canes is back. How about that? So what else do we want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the election? We can talk about the election. You want to talk football? We can talk football. You want to talk about something else? We can talk about something else. Make NASCAR great again, says Brad Pitt. Well, NASCAR season is almost over, I believe. I think they're down to the last race, the championship race. And I mean, there's 3 guys in there that I don't care about, and then there's Joey Slogano, the spoiled brat, cuck that he is. I hope he doesn't win. I think that would be terrible. So hopefully one of the other 3 guys wins and Slogano doesn't win. Nate says, make hockey physical again. Yes. And by the way, the Bruins look terrible this year. They just got shut out by Toronto last night, so that didn't make me very happy. Martinsville was indeed a joke. Yeah. If NASCAR isn't careful, they're going to go the way of Formula One and become a rules-based racing organization. Yep, Slim Shady is back again. Yep, Boston is indeed a bad team. Space Mountain, one of the longtime trolls in here. No, we're not keeping Napier. I certainly hope we're not keeping Napier. We don't need to keep Napier. We need to fire Napier. I thought the Bruins would improve too, Nate, but alas and alack. Well, when your alleged number 1 goaltender sits out the entire preseason, I guess that's what happens. Too much off-season rust and too much not feeling like playing or something. I don't know. I posted the Raj. Wait a minute. Raj again. Oh, look at that. 2 people pop in almost immediately. And there's Mr. Bug Eyes.
What's up, sir?
And there is the long-lost Slim Shady Kane.
I wasn't lost.
Well, you weren't here.
Yeah, well, things kind of got a little sideways.
Are you at a train station?
Hang on. Who do I want? I don't know. I'm not sold on. I assume the word kidding was supposed to be Kiffin. I'm not thrilled about the idea of Lane Kitten being the head coach of the Gators. I've resigned myself to that's probably what's going to end up happening. I guess I'll deal with it when it happens. But
I thought I heard he had a 2-year extension or 1-year extension at Ole Miss.
I'm actually not so sure of that because they'd have to shell out upwards of $10 million a year.
Oh,
because he's making and some change.
I've heard rumors that Florida has the money to buy out Napier.
I'm sure they do, but and I think this would be something maybe more in your wheelhouse. But I'm sure you're familiar with the Bull Gators.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, one of the biggest Bull Gators is Lane Kiffin's ex-father-in-law.
No kidding. I did not know that.
Well, I didn't either until that came up from a quote-unquote Bull Gator on Twitter. So I could. I mean, is he going to be thrilled to try and buy out Billy just to pay for his ex-son-in-law?
Well, the one thing you can say about Bull Gators, or I don't know what the equivalent is in Miami or Athens or Tallahassee or whatever. They all have them. The one thing you can say about those kind of boosters is pretty much winning trumps, no pun intended, trumps everything. So, yeah, I think that particular Bull Gator would be more than happy to put up with his ex-son-in-law if it meant that the Gators were dragged kicking and screaming back into prominence?
Now, on a slightly related topic, I must say I'm a little disappointed in you and Gator Nation. How is it Dade County can go red, but not Gainesville?
I don't know.
Well, Gainesville is, I mean, Gainesville basically exists because of the University of Florida. Whereas,
I understand.
Whereas Dade County is heavily Cuban.
It is.
And Cubans are not liberal. Even 3 and 4 generations removed from people who escaped Castro. I think it's genetically inbred into Cubans to be anti-communist, anti-Castro, and therefore very conservative. Hey, Harry Legends here. Good to see you, sir. Thank you for joining. So I think it's basically Miami-Dade is full of Cubans. Cubans don't like liberals. They don't like Democrats. They don't like socialists. They don't like communists. So there you go. I think that's the difference.
Fair explanation. Still surprising, nonetheless.
Yeah. Now, where are you hiding? Did you take a wrong turn looking for Selena's channel? But good to see you, man. I appreciate the support. You got some people in here I haven't seen in a long time or ever. Where you hiding is one of them. Where you hiding? He made a post. Yeah. Well, the Bruins and the Flyers are down bad this year. I don't know what the hell's going on. Look who's here. Everyone's favorite Aussie. I don't know what a Suki is. Would you speak fucking English already? Jesus Christ, Libby.
Well, you have to figure they're derived from that chewed up, spit out version of English in Britain.
Yeah. Your comments on FB were about the twin storms that are hovering around the tip of Florida right now.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay. A sock is someone who is a big baby. Oh, shut up, woman. Jesus Christ.
I do got to give a shout out to Pigskin Pete, though, because over the last, I'd say 18 hours, I have had an absolute ball on Twitter.
Well, what were you doing?
What wasn't I doing was probably a more apt question. I was doing my damnedest to piss off anything and everything in sight.
Well, that's the Slim Shady King we all love. I haven't been on Twitter. I haven't been on Twitter in 5-6 years, probably. I deleted my account a long time ago.
Oh, I've been having a ball with it.
Well, I imagine I just posted a video. I think Daily Wire. I love Daily Wire. That's a great site. Daily Wire put up it wasn't Daily Wire. It was DC Shorts on YouTube. They put up a video showing the crowd reaction when that guy came, at Howard University when Kami skipped out and didn't even talk to him, and she sent one of her higher up campaign people to give the don't give up, don't give in, blah blah. And the video was just showing the crowd's reaction to just getting their asses handed to them. I thought it was the funniest thing I ever saw.
Oh, yes. I mean, the meltdowns last night and continuing on into today rival, and in a lot of cases even surpass 2016.
I wonder how what's that guy, Stink or Stank or Jank or Janky or
Oh, talking about Cenk
Tinder?
Uygur from the Young Turks.
Yeah, he melted down pretty good in 16. I imagine he probably melted down damn good in last night.
Well,
Baylor Man's got a question for you, Slim.
I might have an answer for Baylor Man.
Can you see the screen or?
Well, not at present.
He said, "Are y'all covering 11.5 against Georgia Tech?"
Probably.
I think Miami's going to double that spread easy enough.
Well, Haynes King is a game time decision for Georgia Tech, and the reports of how shitty our defense is are greatly exaggerated.
What is it? Volusia? Are you talking about Volusia Orange?
Yeah, probably.
Volusia is a faux intellectual. He is an absolutely a leftist lackey. I don't know him good enough. I'll take your word for it.
He's an ideologue. I mean, there's no doubts about it. I mean,
I haven't heard him speak very much, so I don't know.
Well, he comes on Pete's midday show all the time and tries arguing with me and fails spectacularly. But he's actually fairly typical. He thinks he's smarter than everybody just because he has a college degree.
Oh. Well, you see,
I
so do I sometimes too, but I'm not arrogant about it.
He takes it a step further because straight out of college, he got a job in China, so that's where he's been for the last dozen years.
But I got to hand it to him, though, one thing, learning how to speak Chinese is probably, not the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I only speak 2 languages, English and bad English.
That's what I always say. Well, how the hell did that happen? Stop that.
But no, he's very much. I mean, I like him well enough. Don't get me wrong, but especially on certain things, he's very much a radical leftist. And he falls into that camp of assuming somebody's mindset on a topic. Well, you did this just because you're some ist or ism, or some kind of phobic.
Volusia got mad, but as Scott pointed out, these filibusters to not get what? Filibusters? Oh, filibusters. Okay. Do you English, motherfucker? Do you speak it?
Well, he does, and I called that out this morning because you give. I try and be nice, and I was doing that today. Trying to give him the floor to get his side of it out. But instead of taking like a lot of people try and do, he tries to respond to 17 points in one statement instead of taking them one at a time and going back and forth on each different topic.
Libby, are you going to come on to the StreamYard and regale us with your funny accent, or are you just going to sit in the background and type at me? Anyway, well, I wonder. I don't know. I haven't. I've been on streams where Volusia has been on, and he doesn't. I mean, I haven't been on with him long enough to form a real opinion. I know he's left of center and all that, but
oh no, he's way off in left field.
Okay, I like I said, I haven't engaged with him enough to get a temperature reading. I'll take your word for it, but he doesn't bother me very much. I mean, obviously everybody knows that I'm pretty conservative.
Well, he doesn't really bother me either because he really lacks the ability. Like it's funny. He has that arrogance of having a college degree, but he doesn't have the intelligence to actually go back and forth on a point. He just kind of regurgitates talking points, like most people.
Well, I mean, if all he's got is talking points, that's all he's got then, I guess. I mean, Baylor Man makes a good point here. I have a college degree. That doesn't make me smart. I'd say the same thing. I've long, I hold 2 degrees myself and a master's. I think I'm pretty smart, but I don't beat anyone over the head with it. I mean, I've known plenty of people with, like, for instance, and y'all are going to laugh because I hate her, but my sister, she holds a degree. She also holds a law degree. And she's always been, I think the last time she got anything less than an A on any report card or transcript was back in the 8th grade or something. Comes out of a book. She's brilliant. She has the common sense of a houseplant. I don't think she's a particularly smart woman. I'm a little biased because I hate her guts, but I know plenty of people like that. They got plenty of framed pieces of paper that say, you're a bachelor of this or a master's of that, or maybe you got a doctor next to your name.
I'll be right back. I run here and grab my daughter.
Okay. But, just because you have a degree from some university, doesn't make you smart. That just means you spent a lot of money and sat in a lot of classrooms. Sven makes a good point. He has a degree, a master's, and a cowbell. The cowbell is probably the most useful thing. I know plenty of people that got through high school and went to a trade school. I consider them to be pretty smart people too. So whatever. Now, when it came time, and I said this to both my daughters with all seriousness and candor, I said, look, our family, at least my side of the family, believes heavily in getting a higher education, at least a bachelor's degree. But if your calling isn't going towards a 4-year university, it's going more towards a trade school or a specialty education of some kind, and that's what you want to do, I will support it, and I will I'll make it happen. And both my daughters and I had in-depth discussions about it. They both went to universities. The older one went to Florida. The younger one went to South Florida. The older one got a master's degree and is now a gainfully employed teacher. The younger one is 1 year away from getting a master's degree and then will be also gainfully employed, which is nice because I'm tired of paying her car insurance. But I know plenty of people that went to trade schools and didn't incur a ton of debt and are making excellent livings and are very happy doing what they do. Ain't nothing wrong with it. College degree doesn't mean that you're a smart person. I mean, look at that. I'll give you a great example. I'm not trying to pick on the poor woman, but look at Kamala. That woman has that woman's university educated. Hell, she's a lawyer, allegedly. Listen to her talk. She's a blithering idiot. She can't put a sentence together. She can't make a speech. Every other sound out of her pie hole is a cackling laugh. You know, this is a smart woman, and she's got a law degree. I'm sorry, I don't see it. But that's just me. Just my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but I could be. Anyway, enough of that. Let's see. Let's look, since we're kind of on the subject. Hang on a minute. Let's look at the election results according to the Associated Press, who is not exactly what I would call a liberal organization. Brian Downey. Never seen that name before, but okay. Monkey never cramps. Banana. Well, thank you for that dietary tip, sir. Yes. Bananas are very high in potassium, and I think also magnesium, and that does help with preventing muscle cramps. I take magnesium pills every night. Let's see. Let's see. We are sharing that screen. Hopefully everyone can see that. And we're looking at the latest update as of 3:30 Eastern time, which it says that right there, which you probably can't see. The latest electoral college shows Trump with 292 electoral votes, Kami with 224. The only states that are undecided at the moment are Nevada, Arizona, and Alaska. Everyone else is, I guess, Maine also, because the faded colors like this one and this one show leads according to this legend right here. Trump has almost 72 million popular votes. Kami has a little over 68 million. So there you go. In the Senate, we're showing 52 Republicans, 44 Democrats, it's actually 43 Democrats and one communist. Arizona is undecided. Nevada is undecided. Pennsylvania is undecided. Nevada and Pennsylvania are leaning right. Arizona is leaning left. So if you add 52 and 43, that adds up to 95. So there are 5 Senate seats that are undecided at the moment. In the House, which is still up for grabs, you have 201 Republicans, 186 Democrats, and a whole bunch left that are undecided. So the House is still up for grabs. I've been listening to pundits all morning and afternoon. They say that it looks like the Republicans should hold on to a slim majority in the House, but this is the area where I believe shenanigans will commence. But I guess we'll see in the next little while. Anyway, that's the latest as of 3:30 Eastern time.
But in a repeat news, election deniers are back out in full force. They're just all on the other side this time.
Yeah. But here's the fun part. The Democrats denied a whole bunch of elections since 2000. And
since 1980.
Yeah. And they never get prosecuted. Whereas election deniers on our side get prosecuted and canceled and censored and otherwise personally and professionally destroyed.
Well, and here's the thing. I didn't believe it last time until, I looked at the evidence being presented myself and made up my own mind. And they have the opportunity to do the same thing this time.
Yeah. And then there was this one guy whose name escapes me. He's one of these high-end Democrat operatives. I can't remember his name. He was quoted recently, and I can't find the quote, but it was reported on Glenn Beck on his radio program that you still have to certify this election on January 6th. And he says that this election won't be certified. Now, how they're going to accomplish that, I'm not really sure. I think it has something to do with the 14th Amendment. But he says that, Republicans can vote for whoever they want to, and, they can throw their vote away because come January 6th, this election will not be certified. So,
right.
I don't know how that's going to play out, but the funny part is that the person who was in charge of certifying the election is Kamala.
Well, that ain't irony coming back to kick you in the teeth, ain't it?
Huh?
I said, if that's not irony coming back to kick you right in the teeth.
Yeah, she's gonna have to certify the election where she got her ass handed to her.
Which,
by the time this all counts out, Trump may have upwards of 300 electoral votes. I don't care how you slice it. 300 electoral votes in a divided country like this is a landslide.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll just have to sit around and see.
The election's going to get certified, just like the last one got certified. I mean,
well, I don't have any real doubt about it, but this guy is supposedly a high-end legal operative within the Democrat Party, and he's making these statements all along that this election's not going to get certified. Now, why would you make such a statement unless you had you knew something that nobody else knows, or you have some kind of legal strategy or something like that to play pretty havoc with the whole thing? I don't know what's going to happen.
No, the same thing that happens after every election. It's going to get certified. And by the way, I said this after the last election as well, and guess what? It got certified.
Yeah, certainly hope so. I don't think we really need any more nonsense. I mean, I personally, I don't think the American public is going to put up with it. Certainly, the half that voted for Trump isn't going to put up with it. I mean, he got 52% of the vote. In addition to the electoral blowout that happened, he also was the first Republican president to not only win the Electoral College, or president-elect, not only win the electoral vote, but win the popular vote. I think the last one to do that was, I think it
had to have been Reagan.
It was Bush Sr.
Okay, yeah, maybe Bush Sr. I know Reagan did.
Yeah. I mean, we're never going to see another 49 state electoral victory like we saw in 1984. The country's too divided for that. But I think we just saw the next best thing.
Well, and the only reason that was kind of a perfect storm for that too, because Reagan had been governor of California for 20 years.
Yeah. Well, California will never go Republican again. I mean, that's never happening.
Well, I mean,
But
it didn't before. I mean, Reagan wasn't a Republican until he ran for president.
yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you. During the Florida State Miami game, I did wear the shirt.
Oh, did you? I was hoping you did.
I did. I announced publicly that for one day only, I was a Miami Hurricane fan.
And I'm sure your lawyer was thrilled with that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I bet you would. Well, if I was still in contact with her, I haven't had to bother her since 2016. No, I made a mistake. I had to bother her in 2019. After 2019, I haven't had to bother my attorney for anything.
I'm sure she appreciates that.
Victor.
Yeah. What happened in 2016 and 2019?
Okay. Well, in 2016, my older daughter turned 18 and graduated high school.
Mm-hmm.
So she, in legal terms, she emancipated. In simple terms, I mean I didn't have to pay child support for her anymore. So I had to rework the child support agreement to eliminate her part of the payment. And that turned into a big disaster for my ex-wife. Sorry.
I'm sure many a tear was shed.
Huh?
I said, I'm sure many a tear was shed.
Well, my child support payment went from $850 a month to $9 a month.
Wow.
In one shot. And in 2019, two things happened. My younger daughter emancipated, and that eliminated all child support. So we had to, we had to close the books on that. And also, there was still one piece of property that she was holding on to due to an agreement in the settlement agreement. She was still holding on to one final piece of property. And I said, look, I want it back now. I paid my dues. I paid the money, et cetera, et cetera. Give me my piece of property back or I'm going to haul you in front of a judge.
Okay, so what kind of property was it?
It was a family heirloom. It was a diamond.
A diamond, okay.
It was a diamond off her engagement ring. That diamond came from Germany. That diamond came over with my father's parents.
Okay.
And it was a passed down heirloom.
Okay,
It went from and I wanted it back.
Okay, so was it a family heirloom from your side of the family?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay,
and she didn't deserve to have it. She didn't deserve to have it. We put in a provision of how I was going to get it back, and I more than met the provision, but she wouldn't let go of it. And so I waited until my younger daughter turned 18, and there was nothing else left except that. And I said, do you really want me to sue you into oblivion over that diamond? And we were all ready to go to court, and she capitulated.
Oh, okay. So you got the diamond back. How big?
Oh yeah, I not only got the diamond back, I also got back payment for all the legal bills that I incurred to get the diamond back. So
yeah. And how big is this diamond?
I don't want to talk about that. Okay. It's a good sized diamond. I'm going to leave it.
Good sized diamond. Okay, fair enough.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
And also, Nature Boy. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, Sven, you're the perfect person to ask about this. I've heard worldwide since last night the world is ashamed of us. What say you?
I tell you what. I'm a Trump supporter. Let's be clear. Yeah, okay. I want Trump to be president.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
The Germans, the German press and the German TV said the world goes down.
Said the what?
The world goes down.
Oh.
No,
The,
it does.
the,
No,
the
it
Third
does
World
not.
War is coming.
No, it's
They
not.
I know, but the Germans hate Trump. They don't dislike him. They hate him. It's like you send a Polish guy to Israel. It doesn't work.
But
Or you
see,
send a
the
communist.
reason they hate
You send a
the reason
communist to
they hate
Iran.
So they hate
They
Trump
absolutely
more
they
than.
hate Trump, and you know
So
why?
they hate him more than they hate Biden.
They
no,
love
they
Biden.
love Biden. Biden was a pushover.
Because
Exactly.
Biden is an idiot.
Mhm,
And
yeah.
they can do with Biden whatever they want. They loved Obama. Obama was an idiot,
Exactly.
an absolute idiot. Obama is one of the 5 worst presidents you ever had.
Well, I don't know about
I
that.
agree.
And I tell you why. You know a car company called Mercedes-Benz?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used
Okay.
to be great cars.
Mercedes-Benz has a manufactory near the border to Texas in Tijuana in Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
and they had it before in Detroit in Michigan, and they closed it to Obama's, and Obama paid. They said, okay, we have to go to Tijuana, and if you ask us a certain amount of money, we take some workers with us. So they took 250 workers with them, engineers, not the workers. And they never, ever, under Obama, paid 1 penny tax for any car what came from this fabric in Tijuana to the US. Never. The first thing what Trump did, said, okay, Mercedes-Benz, if you want to produce in Mexico, good luck. But for every car it comes over this border, you pay $10,000 tax. And this is the reason why they hate Trump. And in Germany, no politician has anything to say. Nothing.
Well, they hate Trump because the free ride is over under Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Germany sent Lehman Brothers. Vic, you are too young to remember. Saleen knows it, and Kane knows it.
Slim might.
Lehman Brothers was a big bank in the US under Obama, and they got bankrupt, and the US was near bankrupt, and Germany sent, I don't know, I guess $80 billion to the US, and the US to this day pays 10% every year for this $80 billion. Can you believe this stuff? They own China $800 billion, and they pay every year from your money $80 billion to China.
Yep. Well, yep. We
And-
gotta
and
pay
Vic
off. We gotta
and
pay off
Saleen
that debt.
And Slim Shady
somehow.
Kane pays to build the Red Army in China. And Trump will stop it. And this is the reason why Trump is so hated.
What you think? You
There's
think
no
Trump's
other
gonna
reason.
get our debt
Trump
canceled?
never was a racist or a fascist or something else. Trump is a billionaire, and he doesn't care if you're black, white, yellow, orange, if you're a wall, a Seminole, a Gator, a cowbell man, a UGA man, or you are from Mars. If he can do business with you, he will, but to his rules.
Yeah.
He has a clue what he is doing.
That's
And
what
that's why
makes him
Germany,
work.
Just
Germany
some kind of glue.
and Great Britain and all the other countries hate Trump. Obama, Biden, all these people have from finances and from economy no clue. And this is the reason, the only reason why they hate him. And Trump
Yep.
is the best thing what America had in the past 50 years, outside maybe of Reagan. I give Reagan a lot of credit.
Yeah. So yes, Celine, I haven't gotten to take my victory lap yet. I mean about Trump winning, not about the football game. But yeah, Trump's back. That's right. He's back. Yep. I think that that's what we need right now. I think that having Trump back for the next 4 years, I think that that's not such a bad thing. So yeah, so the Trump
Well,
train.
more importantly
Yep,
than
Trump
Trump.
train. Yep,
Well,
Trump train. Yep, choo choo. Yep.
well,
I hope
as important as Trump winning, it's also winning back control of the House and the Senate.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I don't care about that. But
Well, in order for Trump to get his agenda passed, he needs the House and the Senate.
yeah, I don't care about that. I mean, I'm not really really a
Vic, you should
Republican,
care.
but
It's
I
your
mean, I
country.
just voted for Trump. That doesn't mean that I'm a Republican. But
No, I understand. There was a
yeah,
lot.
yeah,
There
I
was a
don't
good
really.
bit of crossover voting, I'm sure.
Yeah,
No, there was. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, Democrats that voted for Biden last time voted for Trump this time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yes,
And
yeah,
people
I
like
voted
Pete.
for. Yeah, I voted
Pete is
for Biden last time, but yeah, and
Yeah.
I voted for Hillary, but this time I voted for Trump. Yeah.
Pete,
And see,
Pete
that's
is
why I
not
got
a
to give people
Republican.
that's why I got to give people like VicTube credit, because you see it all over Twitter today, and it's just a great example of it. Too many people cannot just look and be honest about it and go, he did a better job than she would do or than he did.
Yeah, I think things were going. Yeah, things were going pretty good under Trump. So I think it would be good to get back to that instead of doubling down on the failures of the Biden-Harris administration.
Cow color. How many costs 12 eggs in the US now? What costs 12 eggs? A dozen eggs. How many? How
It
much?
depends on where you go, but I mean, you can pay
$5.
anywhere from $7 to $12 for a dozen eggs.
Yeah.
And how much should
This
we?
is absolute.
And
This is
how much
absolute
should
criminal.
we? How much should we be paying for eggs?
We pay in Germany. We have in the industrial eggs. They cost. We have 10 eggs, so they cost around $1.50. And if you want eggs from the farm, they cost around $2.50. 10 eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
exactly.
according to a quick Google search, in 2020, the average price of a dozen eggs was $1.51.
Yeah, this is the
to
German
compare, in
price.
2023, the average price was $2.50. So
This is double
you know,
up.
that's about a 75% increase in the price. One question I have in my mind is, because this bothered me more than anything else, because the U.S. has famously not had a lot of experience with political prisoners until, the January 6th thing.
Mhm.
I'm wondering how long it's going to take Trump to issue blanket pardons for all the January 6th people that are
Huh.
Well,
Right.
sitting in jail.
Probably
you
gonna
may
do
not
that.
like this. I don't think he should. Now, there are some of them I think he should, because you have some people that didn't do a thing, and you have some people that did. And you did, and absolutely differentiate. If you went in there tearing shit up, you should be in jail.
Yeah, but for people who just, the videos clearly show that the vast majority of these people were just walking around.
Yeah, you're right.
Some of them
you're
with
right.
escorts, and they're
Yeah.
in
Right.
jail. I don't think they should be.
Yeah, and those
Yeah.
people should be out. I differentiate
Yeah, you're right.
between the two, just like
Yeah,
I
you.
differentiate between, the people that were actually protesting in 2020 and the people that were rioting, looting, and burning.
Right. Right. So the people who were like breaking windows and
Yeah,
fighting the cops.
those people should be punished. RJ
Yes,
all day,
absolutely.
never seen it before, but welcome. Rammer Jammer Taylor says he can start saving money. Good. Nature Boy says where he is $2.97 for a dozen eggs.
Yeah, that's
at
not.
Walmart.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, we have
$1.51. That's basically doubling the
Well,
price of
and-
eggs in 3 years.
Yeah,
Well, and listen, depending on where you are, it's going to be different.
Yeah, we have a neighbor who has chickens who we get eggs from. So
now I
See,
can
I
tell
did
you
the
this
same
much.
thing.
I would like to start, and I was driving around today, and I was listening to the radio. When the markets, right after the markets opened up, and I don't know if anyone noticed, but and I'm going to pull it up here on my handy dandy phone. Dow Jones is at 1,500 points today. NASDAQ is at 542 points.
right,
S&P's at almost 150 points. And if I go over to Bloomberg real quick, hang on, and look at the price of oil, and this is what they're calling the Trump effect, by the way.
Yep. So all the NASDAQ and all that, and
Well,
all
the
that
markets
stuff went
are
up.
And
And
I'm going to try and look at
price,
commodities here in a minute.
and the price of oil is down.
Well, and I'll give you something else that springboarded last night was the price of Bitcoin.
Okay. Spot gold is down $83. It's down to $26.61.
The
Spot
price of
silver is down $1.44. Spot platinum is down $12.
So why is that a good thing?
Because when people are afraid in economic times, when people are afraid that the currencies are going to collapse, they run to gold. They buy gold because gold has never been worth nothing. And the more gold they buy,
gold is a great hedge against inflation.
Okay.
Right. New York Mercantile oil is down under $72 a barrel.
$72 a barrel.
Brent
and how many gallons?
Is down to $75 a barrel.
How many gallons are in a barrel?
55.
52. No, 55. You're right. 55. So oil is dropping. Precious metals are dropping, and the dollar is going up, and the markets are going up. This tells me that the confidence in the near future Trump administration is pretty high.
Okay,
because what has Trump been saying all along through the campaign?
All right, so you got 55. So you got 55 gallons in a barrel, and how much did you say it cost per barrel?
About $70 a barrel.
Okay.
Look. The bottom line, Vic, is, and you can't you can't do equal oil to gasoline.
All right, that would
You
mean
have to
that each
refine oil into gasoline, and you
okay.
have byproducts.
Right, that would mean that each
A
gallon is
barrel of oil does not
58
yield a barrel of gasoline. It's less than that.
right. I'm saying
No,
that would
he's
be
breaking down the
Gas-
price
that
per gallon.
that
of
would
oil,
be
is what it's doing.
Yeah.
that would be 78 cents per gallon. Yeah.
But the
Apropos gasoline.
bottom line is once we start to open up our oil reserves and we start using our own energy and relying less on people that hate us, and we start putting our energy produce or production onto the market, that's going to drive down the cost of energy. If you drive down the
here's
cost
one
of
thing that
energy,
drastically drives it down: when you don't have to pay the shipping fees to get it from Saudi Arabia to here.
right? And also, if you develop the big pipelines like Keystone XL and the Dakota pipeline, that helps. But let's noodle this out a little bit. If you drill our own oil, produce it, refine it here, driving up supply on the world market, which drives down the cost of oil, drives down the cost of diesel. And as Slim can attest to, diesel is what everything is shipped on, whether it's by train or by truck. And if the shipping costs to get from point A to point B are lower, then the prices of raw materials is lower, which means the price of manufactured goods are lower, which means the price in the stores on the shelves are lower. So when you cut energy production like Pudd'nhead did, you jack inflation by double digits, which is what the real inflation rate was, not that nonsense they produced, which was still too high anyway. So once you get the price of energy down, the price of everything else is going to come down with it. And maybe we can also, in parallel, eliminate this, what I call shrinkflation, which is like if you look at a cereal box on the grocery store shelf, you notice that they're smaller now than they used to be.
Yeah, they put less stuff in it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like those bags of potato chips. They're like a push-up bra. You pop it open, and you find out it's half full.
Yeah, they've always been like that though. But yeah.
So, but I'm
At least for as long as I can remember, those bags were like half full of air. You know, for as long as I could remember. Yeah.
And because we have a trucker in the chat, you know, I mean,
well, we got a trucker.
He has to fill that thing up at least every other day, probably every day, and that's hundreds of gallons of diesel.
That's right.
He knows what the price of diesel fuel is. It's what, $5 a gallon or something like that?
Yeah.
$4 or $5 a gallon.
And well, that's something else. It depends on where you are. I mean, I've seen it anywhere from 4 upwards of 7.
Okay, but let's say it was. Let's say we can bring the price of diesel from $4 a gallon down to where it was before Trump was, before the election was stolen, and it comes back in at about $2 a gallon. Well, you just halved your cost of operation, and that's just one factor in the whole equation of our economy. If you can lower the cost of energy just to simply transport goods from point A to point B, I mean, come on now, do the math. If it costs less to get the goods to the market, then the cost of the goods in the market can come down, and therefore, and you know, people's salaries can level off a bit, and maybe we can bring inflation down and get back to some sense of, you know, growth in the economy instead of this piddling 1% growth that we've been suffering through for the past 4 years. Maybe we get that growth up to 4 or 5%.
I do think they're going to have to do much like Reagan did after Carter's economy, and they're going to have jack up interest rates for about a year to help level things off.
Well, they've already factored that in. I mean, I heard them talking about today that there was going to be an interest rate rise of about a quarter point before the end of the
A
year.
quarter of a
Well,
point.
see, I'm not even
This is a lot.
like quit pussyfooting around it. The blueprint to do it is there. Reagan jacked interest rates upwards of 20% for a year, and it absolutely killed inflation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't see the difference, and I agree from an economic theory perspective, that makes perfect sense. Here's the problem, Slim. Do you think there's that kind of? I mean, we're talking about the 1980 when men were men, and there was courage in the country.
Well, good
45
point.
years later, I don't think there's anywhere near that kind of courage.
Well, you're right. And that isn't even to say just because it worked then doesn't necessarily mean it'll work now either. I'm just saying that in a similar situation, there is a blueprint that worked. So
Right,
that's at
but
least a starting point.
is our inflation now, is it as bad as it was then?
It's worse.
It's
Oh.
really
actually
bad.
worse. They're just not. They're not reporting it the way they used to because they fudge the numbers so much.
They're not honest about it. And who's to say they were honest about it before? So I'm not even going to necessarily say it's worse, but at the very least, the appearance of it is worse.
Well,
Because I assume everybody's a liar because people tend to lie.
well,
Right.
I would argue that they may not have been reporting the whole story back in the good old days, but they're doing it less now, and that's provable and demonstratively provable that they're lying to us even more now than they did then. And Jerry Wells is here. Good to see you, sir.
Yeah, what are okay? They mean certified deposits or whatever they're called.
Certificates.
Victor Carla,
Certificate
I have a
deposit.
message for you.
So it does not mean compact disc.
No.
Okay.
CD, putting your money in CDs is basically oversimplification. Basically, you buy a certificate of deposit for, pulling a number out of the air, $100 at a couple of percentage points of interest, and the money sits around and does nothing for, let's say, 6 months. And at the end of 6 months, you get your $100 back plus whatever percent of the investment. Let's say it was a 5% CD. So at the end of 6 months, you get $105 back.
Okay.
I'll give somebody $105 right now to find a fucking CD at 5%.
Well, I was just using examples.
I know. I went actually. I after considering the two, I went a whole life policy instead.
Slim is just giving another fine example of another waste of money. A whole life insurance policy.
Why is that a waste of money?
Because, well, life insurance in general it gives no benefit to the person buying the insurance. The insurance, life insurance
that's
policy.
not the point. That's
not
not the
true,
point,
Saleen.
Yeah,
well, in general,
that's also not the point.
In general, even more for the beneficiaries than for the buyer. CDs are absolutely a waste of money. You're tying up money for an extended period of time where it can do nothing but sit there, and then you're getting a minimal return in return.
Well,
CDs
actually,
insurance are the biggest waste of money.
with whole life, I'm getting over a 6% return, and considering I wanted something away from a 401k outside of a market, yes, it's a very good idea.
See, I don't believe in. I believe in something with a little bit more tangible rate of return if I'm going to
That's
tie
what
my money up,
my 401k is for.
yeah,
It's
if I'm
called
going to tie
diversifying
money
my
up
portfolio.
for decades, because now I'm 59 and a half. I can go after. Well, I don't have 401k anymore. They all got rolled over into IRAs and a Roth IRA and a regular IRA, and I can touch those now if I want to, but I'm not going to. But if I'm going to tie my money up for that long a period of time of a whole life insurance or a CD, I want more of a rate of return than 5 or 6%. I want to do better.
Yes, but
see where you're
find better outside of the market. That's the problem.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, there's good and bad points to both scenarios.
Well, I mean,
And
whole life.
my main thing was I wanted something outside of the market because I've already got money in the market. I have a 401k.
You got a young family to think about, and I understand that your risk tolerance is lower than mine.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
also looking
exactly.
at it very long term as well.
Yeah. See, my kids are grown up now, and I don't have to support them anymore, so my risk tolerance is a little higher.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, see, what I can do too is when I hit retirement age, say it's a down market year. Well, I cannot pull out of my 401k for that year, and I can pull out of that whole life for that year.
Yeah, and that is one advantage. I grant that. Yes, that is one big advantage.
I'm big on diversifying my portfolio. Like to your point on precious metals, I took a 401k from a previous job and rolled it over into a precious metal IRA. So I have
Yeah.
that as well.
And I have one of those as well. I've diversified myself pretty well, and precious metals is definitely a part of it. Hell, I've even got physical precious metal in my possession.
Precious.
Not a lot, but some.
Precious.
Yeah.
Yeah, cowbells.
Well, like I said, my main thing was with a 401k, you've got rise and fall in it. With precious metals, you have rise and fall in it. This is
Well, I mean,
the whole life is guaranteed steady rise, no matter what.
But it's
I
a
mean,
very slow steady rise.
you also have your watch collection, Saleen. That's probably worth something.
Yeah, but
If it
that's
came
not
down to it,
that's not
absolutely.
guaranteed. That's not guaranteed, and it's still, not the easiest thing in the world to liquidate.
Well, it's not, but I mean that's where that would much like I look at some of the guns that I own can very well be physical assets that you can liquidate in a pinch. I've got a couple that I could get rid of for anywhere from 15 to 20 grand a piece if it ever came down to that.
Yeah, I have a few pieces that if I could sell them even a below market value could be a very tidy little chunk of change. I hope it never comes to that. Well,
I'll be
it
right
will
back. I gotta go
eventually.
grab my other two kids.
Yeah, which
It
one?
will eventually come to that because I don't have sons, and my daughters are not exactly watch wearers, and the watches that I have are too big for them anyway.
Yeah, which one would you sell first, the Saleen or the watch collection?
Probably the Saleen, believe it or not.
I think so.
The Saleen actually would be easier to move, and quite honestly, the Saleen on some days is a little bit more difficult to drive than others. Well, let's face it, I'm not getting any younger, Vic, and sometimes driving that car hurts. Just being honest.
Yeah. And you are only 2 years older than me.
Right.
Yeah.
I used to joke with DVD all the time that I'm older than him and I'm okay with it.
BBD is also born in 67, like me.
Let's see. Nature Boy.
I had
He
it.
kicked himself out of his own stream. Yeah.
By the way, Vic.
All right. I need to go to the bathrooms. I'll be right back.
Okay. I just want to tell him if he comes back Saturday.
Yeah, I
within an hour
don't know
from
what
Ole
I
Miss.
hit, but I don't know what button I hit, but I kicked myself out of the studio.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, Nature Boy, but I'm not really looking to adopt anyone right now.
No.
Well, at least you're housebroken. At least I assume you are. I don't know how the hell
I
I
raised
kicked
3
myself
kids.
out of my
It's
own
enough.
stream, but all right.
Yeah. I raised 3 kids. That's enough.
I've got 2 daughters, so I've got enough.
Me too. 2 daughters and a boy. But they are grown, over 30 now.
Oh. Actually,
And
my
I
older
paid-
daughter's birthday is coming up at the end of the month.
Yeah, I paid a boatload of money for their education. They hated me. I sent them in 2nd grade. I sent them to a special school, and they had to learn Latin.
Latin.
They hated me for that. But
You
now
made your kids learn Latin?
I tell you why. Latin is the mother language of English, French, Spanish, Portuguese.
Oh yeah, I know that. My
And,
dad had to learn Latin.
if you can speak Latin, you can travel all over the place.
Yeah, my
And,
dad had to learn Latin. He had to learn to read it, write it, and speak it.
Yeah,
in order to become a doctor. All his textbooks were in Latin.
Yeah. I had a small degree in Latin. In my 2nd degree, I studied church history.
I was pretty impressed with my dad. He knew 3 languages: English, Latin, and Hebrew.
I speak Russian, broken English, and broken German.
Yeah, your English is pretty good.
Yeah,
Better than my German.
I think so.
You know, I bought a watch recently off of Chrono 24 from Germany. As a matter of fact, it's supposed to be here tomorrow. And all the and they sent me like 3 emails to confirm the purchase. And they were all in German. I actually had to type back to them. I said, while I appreciate the rapid shipment and the good correspondence and all that, you do realize you're shipping to the United States, and I don't speak German, so all the emails you sent me are useless.
So you have my email address.
Yeah, luckily the one German watch I've bought was from an American dealer, so I didn't have to worry about that.
Well, actually, the watch I bought is Swiss watch, but the dealer is in Cologne. Actually,
yeah. If you have the next German correspondence, send it to me. You have my email address, and I translate it for you. It's no problem.
Yeah, I don't know if I told you, Saleen, but I did. I bought a German-made watch to go with the bunch of Swiss-made watches that I have.
Oh, which brand?
Zeppelin.
Oh yeah, actually, Battle Angel, on my recommendation, bought no, not a Zeppelin, Messerschmitt for Lou. It's you might recognize it from some of his videos. It's the green one with the green dial tan strap.
It's a fly watch or air watch, or how you say it.
It's
An aviator watch.
It's a very simple. Well, it has an aviator look to it, but it's not it's not technically an aviator's watch. It has a very simple 3-hand design to it.
Yeah.
I think it was a quartz watch too.
I never heard Zeppelin. I know
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin.
Travel
That's
and
my
Fools is
favorite.
here.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin is my favorite band, but I never heard the
Hey,
company Zeppelin watch company. Never.
Yeah, Zeppelin.
Yeah, there's a
Zeppelin is
Zeppelin.
a very good watch brand.
Yeah, they've got like a very 1920s styling to them, which I like.
It's called Bauhaus.
Yeah,
It's
vintage.
a very clean design. And good afternoon to you, Zona. Good to see you, sir. And Traveling Fools is bragging that he speaks a little bit of English, but fluent in Pig Latin.
Yeah.
I guess that's a good thing.
I'm world champion in cowbell ringing. Undisputed.
Well, that helps.
Yeah.
I speak like Slim. I speak 2 languages, English and bad English.
Yeah.
So,
I can a bit. I speak a bit Turkish because we have a lot of Turkish people here in Berlin, and I have how you say it? It's not my son, but it's like an adopted son from a very good friend. How you say this? And
Godson.
he's a
Godson,
Turkish. Yeah, he's a Turkish baker, and my wife always cooked for them, and I made the school homework with the boys every day.
nice.
And yeah, and they play together, and so I learned a bit of Turkish. Günaydın, nasılsın? İyi akşamlar.
I know in April, I'm going back to Venice, Italy, and
In April.
late April, and I want to try and learn some Italian. So I'm going to order up access to. Who am I ordering access to? Hang on, I have it on my wish list on Amazon. Rosetta Stone.
Oh, yeah.
You can order a lifetime access to their language system for about $189. I might not get that. I think you can also get smaller plans.
Yeah, and you use it once in your lifetime. It's a waste
3-month
of money.
code, 12-month code.
You have enough Italian
I might
people.
get the 3-month code.
Saleen, you have enough Italian people in Florida. Speak to them.
No,
What?
doesn't work that way. I don't have a lot of Italian people around me.
I
You
was
live
gonna
in
say, I
Williamsburg.
never. I know it's not necessarily Sarasota, but not too far from there, close to where I was, just north of Tarpon Springs. There was a really big Greek population.
There's a pretty good sized Greek population in a little north of Bradenton. But Greek is Greek. Greek is not Italian.
I know that, but that's what I was
Yeah.
saying. There wasn't necessarily a bunch of Italians around there, but there are a bunch of Greeks.
Now, if I lived in, say, New York
Well,
or Boston, I could probably
there's
do it.
also not a huge difference between. There isn't a huge language barrier between Greek and Italian neither. Because they're both Latin based. They're very similar.
No, that's absolute wrong. It's Latin and Italian.
Yeah.
Listen closely.
Yeah, I've never heard of Greek and Italian being close, but
Listen closely, Vic. If you come back Saturday from Oxford with an L, I will shit over UGA, you and Lou,
yeah, I know.
all months long.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
make
somehow
sure.
I don't think that Vic really has a hell of a lot to worry about.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know,
We
man. I mean,
might.
it's not like
We
UGA has
might.
played overly impressive.
UGA played bad against Mississippi State, and it's no joking. We should have won this game. We had enough chances against Georgia to win this game.
Should have.
It's no joking. If we had a 50 strength defense, we win this game by 4 touchdowns. Really.
4 touchdowns.
Georgia's offense was maybe decent. They are not clicking. Georgia is not a top team. No, they are not. And everybody knows I'm not delusional.
No, you're
I
not.
call it,
I mean, to your very point, take common opponents. I mean, Miami whooped Florida worse than Tennessee and Georgia combined.
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
and Miami is not a good team.
Oh, wait a minute.
They have a good quarterback, but that's it. And I tell you what,
Uh-oh.
Slim, I make a bet
I think
with
they're
you.
a good.
Right
I think
now,
they're a good
right now.
offense.
We
Yeah,
make
there
a
you
bet.
go.
Listen, $10, PayPal. You can trust me. You can ask Saleen. I pay my due. $10. If you see SMU in the championship game, SMU will kick your ass.
Yeah.
Oh
but if
no.
you
Yeah,
win-
I'll take that.
They're talking about. You're talking about if Miami wins the ACC.
Yeah, he thinks we'll lose to
No,
SMU in the
I
ACC
talk-
championship.
No, I don't. I don't think that. Yeah, I think.
No.
Yeah, I think Miami is going to win the ACC.
I just
You
hope
take the
Florida
bet?
beats Florida
Slim?
State. That's all I want. We're
Yeah,
going on a 4-game
I
losing
think
streak,
you
but
should
all I want is Florida
take the
State to
bet,
lose
Slim.
2 games.
Yeah, I'll take that bet with you. No problem. Everybody on here is witness to it. I trust you.
You can trust me. You can trust me.
I got you.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
don't know.
believe you've been.
I don't know
Sven,
why.
you've been around long enough. I trust you.
Yeah, I don't know
Uh,
why you. I don't know
Sven
why
paid,
you
paid
think
within 2 days.
SMU is going to beat Miami
You can ask BBD.
when they
You
should
can
have.
ask. The only bet I never paid, and this
Should've
tricot
lost
is still here, is my bet with Vic. I have the signed Dak Prescott shirt here. And if I ever have the chance to come to Athens, I will give it to him. This is the only bet I never paid. But I don't send a shirt to the US and pay $50 for transportation.
I just got an alert on my phone that the pole dancer is giving her concession speech right now.
All
Oh,
right.
that's lovely. No, I
will
believe
watch
you,
it
Sven.
later.
You ain't got to worry about that. Yeah, I'll take that
Yep.
bet. I absolutely think Miami would beat SMU. So you're
Yeah,
on.
why do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah.
Yeah, why do you think SMU is gonna beat Miami when they should
I
have
tell you
lost
why.
to Duke?
I tell you why. Miami has not a good defense.
Okay,
So
and SMU
especially
does.
wait, and especially against the run.
Does
So
No,
one
well,
thing-
does
that-
SMU?
see,
Does
that's where you're
SMU have
mistaken.
good defense?
Hey, hang on a second. That
It
Go ahead.
doesn't matter how bad Miami's defense is. If they score 50, then if you
They
score
will not
50,
score
well,
50.
here's the problem with that too. It's the secondary on the defense that's the problem, not the run defense. You got it backwards.
right?
Our run
I'm just
defense is
saying
what's
that.
keeping our defense
Yeah.
highly ranked.
Exactly. So I wouldn't worry about SMU because it's not like they have a good defense either. I mean,
Could be a high scoring game.
what does Miami have to fear from SMU?
I mean,
Exactly.
Miami was two
Well,
bad calls
and-
away to be 7-2. Let's be real.
Yeah, if they had gotten those calls wrong, yes, we had been
Yeah.
7-2, but they got the calls right.
One call was right and one call was absolute wrong. I think the Virginia.
We'll agree to disagree.
I think the
Mary,
was
how
it
you
Virginia
doing?
Tech.
Welcome
But
back.
anyway, next year Mississippi State goes 15-0 and obliterates the SEC.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
There we go.
no, but State is 1-8 now. But one thing we have the second best quarterback in all SEC. The second best.
What?
Do you want to tell me
No.
Beck is
No,
better as Van Buren?
Who? No,
Are you
no,
crazy
no.
or
I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say Beck. But yeah, who
Tell
is?
me.
So if he's the second best quarterback, then who is the
Next year,
best?
next year come 2025 season. Van Buren is the second best quarterback in the SEC.
All right, who's the first best?
Next
DJ
year,
Lagway. No, I'm kidding.
Who's the first best?
I think Lagway.
Nah.
well, see,
No,
that's where you've got a problem.
Okay. You're not talking about this year. You're talking about next
No,
year.
next year.
Oh.
Nussmeier is gone.
Unfortunately, well, see,
Milroe
that's
is
where
gone.
Next year.
that's where the
Next
flaw
year.
is in your logic, because next year DJ Lagway won't be at Florida; he'll be at Miami.
I don't think so.
I do. I think when Billy Napier gets fired, he's going to take a little trip right down I-75 to Coral Gables, Florida.
Right.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
I read that. Yeah. In the meantime, Aiden Warner will be the quarterback for Florida.
Which,
Oh, God.
by the way, the way and I have to give Florida some credit. I actually don't think they should fire Billy, because unlike
No.
Florida State, unlike
These
Florida
people are
State,
fighting.
that team
fighting.
is showing that they're fighting and they're rallying around Billy.
Right, they don't
Yeah,
care.
that's like-
Right. Yeah, you think
like Mississippi State.
You think they care? Slim, do you think Florida fans care?
I think they should. I think that's part of the reason. I think that's part of the reason Miami was as bad as they were Mario's first year, because the team had rallied around Manny and won for him there towards the end of the year after Derek King got hurt.
Right, and he still got fired anyway.
I got to tell you, Slim is on to something, because I'm in the Gator forums on various places, and a lot of Gator fans,
anyway.
I'm not one of them, but a lot of Gator fans that were calling for Napier's ass are now saying that what Slim just said, the team is rallying around Napier and buying in and all that, all that stuff.
Right.
And the defense does seem to be playing better than they were.
Right.
We had a lot of problems.
That happened, but then Manny Diaz still got canned. So
yeah.
And don't forget also that we just lost our number one receiver to a season-ending hip surgery.
happen. Billy Napier is also gonna get canned. So.
Well, and he may. I'm saying he probably shouldn't, but
nothing would surprise me anymore, Slim. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me a bit if Napier comes back for his fourth season.
Right.
It wouldn't surprise me at this point.
All right, but what you want to happen is, you want to beat Florida State, but still fire Napier anyway.
I think, let me put it this way. Napier is lost to Georgia.
Yeah.
And he's going to lose to Texas, LSU, and Old Miss. That's a 4-game losing streak, and he's guaranteed to be out of bowl contention by the time they get to the Florida State game.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't surprise me if they fire him before the Florida State game,
right?
And just run the table with an interim coach.
Right, that's what you're hoping for, right, Saleen? And then you're hoping that y'all can fire Napier and then still beat Florida State.
Well, Florida State is in absolute
And
disarray
that
right
right, and that would just be your dream scenario, wouldn't it? Lose the next 3 games.
No, my dream scenario would
Fire
be to
Billy.
bowl eligible.
Right. Okay. Right.
But
So it
there's
would be
nowhere that
right.
there's 2 wins in the next 4 games.
Right. So it would be lose the next 3 games,
Which
beat
is gonna
Florida
happen.
State, right? Beat Florida State, and still fire Billy Napier.
That would be nice. You know,
do you play
and I don't
Texas
know if
at
that's
home?
going to happen. I just don't know.
Do you play Texas at home?
Does it matter?
If you
We
play
play
Texas at home,
we're on the road against Texas. We play the Corn Dogs and Old Piss at home, and then Florida State in Tallahassee.
All right. Yeah.
if UGA beats Saturday Ole Miss, I guarantee you a win over Ole Miss. And you know why? 90% of all players will opt out, and Kiffin is on his way to Gainesville. I guarantee you this. No donor
I hate that
in the whole
idea.
state of Mississippi gives a dime for Ole Miss if Lane Kiffin misses the playoffs. They spent
What's up, Harry?
they spent $13 million in this team. 13 million.
All right, there you go. There you go. Saleen, I've got it now. Your dream scenario for Florida: beat LSU, so the shoe part of the morning shoe gets dropped and it just becomes the morning show. You beat
If Lou is a man of his word, yes.
right, yeah, you beat Florida State, and you go to a bowl game, and you fire Billy.
Well, if we go to a bowl game, we're not firing Napier.
No, I think y'all might. I think 6-6 might not be enough because he was 6-6 in his first year. So
Well, if we go to a bowl game and lose the bowl game, then Napier might get fired. But if we go to a bowl game and win, then Napier comes back.
Is Florida vaccinated? Is Florida going to come off the hip though?
Is Florida going to what?
Napier's buyout's 28, isn't it? Or is it 32?
Yeah, y'all
according to
y'all can afford that.
The rumors, the buyout is $26 million, and the money is there.
Yeah, y'all can afford.
Florida
that.
has the money.
Yeah, y'all can afford that. Yeah.
Well, once again, I'm sure the money is there, but I mean, yes, Lane may be a little better than Billy, but how much better?
Not really better.
We may be a poverty program with respect to talent right now, but we're not a poverty program with respect to money.
I don't think
we got the money.
I don't think y'all are that short on talent.
Dr. Bob, good to see you, sir. Yes, salty liberal tears are the best tears of all.
I mean, Florida and Mississippi State had the hardest schedule in all of NCAA. Nobody comes even close.
Georgia.
What we have. And
one
our president, Oklahoma, maybe. And our president guaranteed Levy, we have the hardest schedule. You get 3 years, no matter what. He has 3 years to turn Mississippi State around. And it would be absolute unfair to fire Napier with such a schedule. This is crazy.
But this will be his third losing season in a row and the fourth overall. Our recruiting class is in the tank. Lagway is almost guaranteed to leave.
Your recruiting class is better than Florida State's.
Well, okay.
Florida State is
the difference between having gangrene and botulism.
Yeah, Florida State is 53rd and Mississippi State is 30th. And I mean, Mississippi State is not a football school. We are a baseball school.
Slim, in a world where Vanderbilt is bowl eligible and Florida isn't, that's just
a
wrong
good
on
world.
multiple levels.
No, it's a good world.
Well,
I like
I mean,
that.
okay, yes, and I would normally, okay, I would agree with you, but this has not been a normal college football year on the whole.
No.
And let's be honest, there were mainstream pundits talking about Florida maybe being a 2 or 3 win team. If Billy doubles that, or maybe even more if he manages to pull out a 7th win, yes, he's earned himself another year, at least.
And I agree. I do. I don't want it to happen, but I want it to happen. You know what I mean?
I get you. I do.
I don't want my team to suffer because I want to see Napier gone. But I mean, if he can pull an upset in one of the 3 big games, Texas, LSU, Mississippi, if he can pull an upset in one of those games, he guarantees himself another year.
And I actually see a world where he pulls an upset in 2 of them. Would I be supremely shocked if Florida beat LSU and Ole Miss? No, I wouldn't.
I would be. I would be if he beat both of them. If he beat one of them, I wouldn't be shocked.
Who do y'all
And
get?
number
for
2, I would prefer he beat
I said I
LSU.
wouldn't be supremely shocked. There'd be a little bit of shock there, but I definitely expect him to win one of those games.
I would like him to I would like him to beat LSU because I'm tired of losing to LSU.
And I get it.
I think.
And you'd like it. Go ahead, Mr. Harry.
I think y'all can beat Florida, and after we get through tenderizing Ole Miss this weekend, you could probably beat them.
Old man, you better beat Ole Miss, or I be all over you. You better beat them.
Don't worry.
You
don't
know.
And listen,
Ole Miss.
the argument can be made, and I know some people don't want to hear this. Some people aren't going to believe it. The argument can be made if DJ Lagway doesn't get hurt that Florida wins that game against Georgia.
Well, y'all can argue.
I've heard that argument.
This is not an argument.
Yeah,
Lagway
I
completed 2
absolutely
passes.
believe it.
No,
Well,
Lagway had
even
2
the
The
complete
way
passes.
Georgia was playing and the way Lagway was played, there may be some truth to that, but you know what?
No.
We'll never know.
And I tell you why. Florida has not the players, the depth to compete with Georgia over 4 quarters. This is the problem. Florida can hang around 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, but in the 4th quarter, it's over. They have too much talent.
Well, we hung around.
Georgia has
7
quarters.
Yeah, you did.
Celine,
You hung around for 3.5 quarters.
Florida
Sure did.
has maybe 30 4 and 5 stars. Maybe 30. Do you know how many Georgia has? 76. 76 4 and 5 stars.
Oh, 4 or 5 stars. Yeah.
You don't beat this. You can't beat this.
Yes, you can.
If
But
one
Georgia's a
if
very
one
beatable
of-
team this year.
Yes,
If-
we are beatable.
And if not
Of course
for
they
Beck, they are. If not
Oh,
for
yeah.
Beck, Beck
Yeah, I mean, we're beatable.
Beck
I mean,
is-
so is
Beck is
Miami.
absolute terrible. And if
Well,
not
of course
for
they
Beck,
are, Vic.
Yeah.
Georgia would be unbeatable in the SEC. They wouldn't lose a single game. The problem was UGA has is the quarterback. He's absolute horrific. He's maybe the
Yeah,
2nd or 3rd
yeah,
worst
I
quarterback
agree,
in the
yeah.
SEC right now.
Well, they're
Yeah, I
compared to
agree,
normal. Their defense leaves something to be desired as well.
Yeah, I agree. Right now, Carson Beck is playing like the reincarnation of Joe Cox.
Of Jack Fromm. No, of
There's
Jack
No, I was
Fromm.
gonna say Joe Cox, but yeah.
There's
What
2 reasons
about
for that, Vic.
Bennett?
By the way, Vic,
I mean,
do you know that?
Fromm was better, but
Do you know a guy named Aaron Murray?
yeah, I do.
Yeah, he makes a very good podcast with an LSU guy. It's called Snaps. SNAPS. You should listen to this. It's really fun and really good. It's a podcast. You can watch it on YouTube. He has a podcast.
Yeah.
I can't watch
It's
it.
really good.
That gum.
And he said today,
ridiculous.
Georgia has a 50-50 shot against Ole Miss. He don't trust Peck.
You do.
And Murray was your, I don't know if you rank him higher as Bennett, but Murray was for decades your best quarterback you ever had.
Yeah.
He was absolute.
Yes, you're right about that.
He was.
Yes.
He also had he was beneficiary of a
I
good,
like Murray. Murray was
Yeah,
a really,
I,
really good quarterback.
Yeah, he was. He was.
now
You are
what harms
tired, Vic.
Vic more than anything else this year is lack of a running back room like we're accustomed to having. We don't have it this year.
Well, and
Yeah.
Sven, to go back to what we were talking about earlier, here's why I say you're wrong about Miami, because somebody decided to compare the numbers. Our offense is just as good, and in some spots even better than 2019 LSU, and our defense blows theirs out of the water. It's not even particularly close.
Hmm.
So,
Do you want to tell me Miami 2024 is the next coming of Joe Burrow's LSU?
It's looking like it so far this season, but there are still games to be played.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, at the same point in the season, Joe Burrow is less than 100 yards better than Cam Ward. Our run game is way better. More touchdowns, more yards. And our defense is, let's see, at last rank, our defense was 14th in the nation, but I haven't looked it up since Saturday, so I don't know where it sits now. But coming into Saturday, we were 14th in the nation in total defense. LSU was 31st.
Okay, I have a question. And I have a Luke question. You know what a Luke question is? Who do you play? Who have you played?
Who have they played?
Who did they play? Yeah. I guess they played
Joe
Louisville. I
Burrow-
guess it's the best team.
Joe Burrow
Miami has
went to
played.
Alabama, to
Okay.
Tuscaloosa, and spanked
he sure did.
Sam's ass.
Yeah.
And it was not close. He killed.
Well,
Ole
actually,
Miss.
it was close because Alabama
The final
almost came back and
score.
won that game.
Yeah, the final score was close.
It was. Yeah, the final score was.
It
close,
was
but
it was much like the Alabama Georgia game this year. LSU got out to a big lead. They went into half. Alabama made adjustments and almost came back and won it.
Right. The key word being almost.
Almost, yes. I absolutely give them credit for that Alabama win. Absolutely. But we were just talking about Vanderbilt and how good Vanderbilt is this year. They weren't in 2019. And how much did Joe Burrow give up to Alabama or Vanderbilt? Almost 40 points.
yeah, we scored over 30 on Georgia this year.
To Vanderbilt.
Scored over 30, and Texas had 15. We are a better team as Texas, Mississippi State, and we played Georgia in essence with a pure freshman and not a five-year senior.
And that was another game that they hyped up as a big one at the time because it was early in the year. 2019 LSU. Oh, we're going against a top 10 Texas that went 8-5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
big win there.
Texas was terrible this year. They had Kellen Mond was the quarterback. Mond?
No, who was that quarterback?
Texas A&M.
No,
Yeah,
Texas.
Mond played at A&M.
Yeah, Mond was at A&M. That was who was that quarterback that did the we're back after they beat Georgia?
Sam Ellinger.
Yeah, Sam Ellinger. That's who it would have been.
Ellinger. Yeah. Mississippi State got the #1 JUCO player in all of the US, an edge rusher for next year. We got 7 O-line and D-line, 4 stars. We are coming. We are maybe winning 4 games next year, 5 games.
All right.
We are not go bowling. Yeah, we have the same
And then maybe
schedule.
Yeah, and
We
then
have the
yeah,
same
then, so
schedule.
maybe y'all can go 4-8 next year.
Yeah.
Maybe y'all can
Yeah,
go
it's okay.
and then maybe y'all can go 7-5 in year 3.
It's a process. And look, Georgia comes to town. The week before Georgia, Texas comes to town. 2 weeks later, Tennessee comes to town. We have Mizzou on the road. Outside of Alabama and LSU, we play every top 15 team in the SEC. Every single one of them. Outside of Alabama and LSU.
Yeah.
We have them all.
Yeah.
Mizzou
That's
ain't
right. You
gonna be
play
no top
every
15
single one
team
of
next
them.
year.
Not just the
and
men. Yeah, not just the men, but the women and the children too.
Well, and here's my thing. Why don't you wait and see if the SEC is really measuring up? Because this year they're not. I mean, is there a single team in the? It's also a matter of reality because there's not a single team in the SEC that would be a double-digit favorite over Miami. Not one.
Well, if you did it according, if I ran the statistical comparison, Miami against pick a team, you might be surprised. And there's all this talk about power ratings versus rankings by the pollsters, and there's a scintilla of truth to both sides. But what is interesting is to follow. You have to follow it all the way through the seasons until you finish the games to really compare and get some kind of semblance of comparability that you're talking, apples and apples. Because at this juncture right now, I can show you statistically in the power ratings that Miami is not a top 10 team. Now there's
You mean those very same power ratings that had USC in their top 15? Those ones?
Where were they ranked in the AP poll at the beginning of the season?
So you want to use two sets of subjective measures to try and come up with an objective fact? I don't think so. Objectively, power rankings are bunk.
That's bullshit. No. See, you evidently don't grasp what I'm trying to say, or I'm not saying it the way that I need to say it so that you do understand. What I'm saying is that when you want to play the statistics game or comparative statistics, which is what I'm talking about, where you actually are you're factoring the results by the level of competition in every week, and see it changes every week. Well, by the time that you complete the schedule, you have a body of work that you can actually get a statistically harmonious view of the whole landscape. Now, whether or not that matches up with actual results, that's why we play the games. So I'm not going to sit here. What I'm doing right now is standing and tell you that there is a right and a wrong way to any of it, because we know that we play the games for a reason and shit happens.
Oh, sure.
Saturday.
But also, and I also wasn't saying that Miami would beat any team. I simply said there's not a single SEC team that would be, in my opinion, a double-digit favorite over them. I think there are several that probably would be favorites, and probably rightfully so.
Maybe Oregon.
Well, we were talking about SEC, but yeah, I think Oregon would probably be favored over us too, more than likely.
Yeah, but you make a good point on the double digit, and I wouldn't listen good because I would agree with that statement. But not double digits, no.
Yeah, and that was my only statement. There's not.
No, that would be a
There's
competitive
probably not a
game.
team like I would have Georgia favored ahead over us more than likely, but not by double digits.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think I would have Tennessee favored over us, and that's arguably the second best team in the conference.
Yeah.
Uh,
Maybe Georgia
What
or
I want to
on there
see
yet.
able to handle
is
Miami.
Indiana beating Ohio State.
I don't
Maybe
think so.
And I
No,
believe Indiana
it's
can beat
it's
Ohio State. I
possible.
believe this.
no,
I believe
that
this.
game is so long.
Possible.
Well,
Not
yes,
in,
it's possible.
not in the shoe.
That's a road game for them in
Well,
Columbus.
what I think Indiana is playing very well. I think they're punching above their weight, but when it comes to lining up against, Ohio State, I just don't think they have the Jimmies and Joes that can match. There's
Probably
too big a
not. Well,
talent gap there.
well, I mean, remember, Nebraska held a lead against Ohio State. Yeah,
Well, see, that's
yeah,
what
yeah,
kind of
and we
leads
saw
back to what
what,
Slim was
yeah,
talking
and
about
we saw
earlier.
what Indiana did to Nebraska. So
And which,
Rick,
by the way, too, and something I factor into things like there are certain games that just because it's close mean a little less to me. And when I
yeah,
say that, I mean, and I tend to mean rivalry games. Like I don't look at Florida, Georgia, and use that as my barometer for either team because we all know that weird things happen in rivalry games, and that shouldn't be your measuring stick.
My God, did you see the number of players that left that game?
Yeah.
That
Well,
was
and
attrition.
to that amount, I don't use um, Florida State or Virginia Tech as my measuring stick for Miami because both of those are rivalry games. The only real game that has bothered me this year with Miami is Cal. That's it. Like I knew Louisville was a good offense. That was a top 12 offense that we were going into on the road. I knew that was going to be a problem.
what
Right.
about what about Virginia Tech?
Like I said, it's a rivalry game. It's not my measuring
Is
stick for it. We have played them
it
every year since
is
we joined the Big East. Yes, that's a rival.
okay?
Back when Virginia Tech was good, was decent, or consistently decent.
Right, but
Them and
Cal is
Miami
not a
were
rival.
slugfest every time. It's a
Oh,
rivalry. I
dude,
mean, Jesus.
Mr. Harry, to that point, I still have some nightmares of the Michael Vick years at Virginia Tech.
Everybody
Yeah.
does. God bless America. It still blows my mind they didn't win it that year. You know,
He tried.
That's when they
Bless
did
him, he
things that
tried.
good.
he sure did.
he was good.
That's the fastest. He had the fastest takeoff of anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That
But
first
like,
series.
I tend to do that consistently across the board. Like I said, I wouldn't hold the Florida game against Tennessee or Georgia because that's a big rival for both. And especially in Tennessee's case,
Exactly.
Florida's just had their number for so long.
It's in their head.
Yeah. Now,
Well,
like I
not
said,
this year.
the Cal game, absolutely, that was not good at all. Not even a little bit. Louisville,
I don't remember
huh?
that game.
The Cal
When y'all
game was
played
that one where we came back from 25 points down,
where was that?
and it was a Friday night, I believe. No, it might have been. No, it was Saturday because that was game day was there. It was Virginia Tech that was Friday. And that's about the only real kind of thing I can say about the Cal game is, Miami and Lou's made this point, and I agree with it. For the better part of 20 years, Miami's kind of wilted in the big spotlight, and they were in the big spotlight that night. Now they ended up pulling it out, but I still don't think that's a good look. Like I said, Louisville, that's a top 12 offense on the road. So I was actually that game went how I called it was going to go. I said it was going to be a shootout, and it was. Duke, yeah, okay, that game was close for a half.
They
Right.
didn't have the horses.
Yeah, they
No,
held.
and
They did hold a lead at one. An 11-point lead at one point. But
yeah, right there at the beginning of the third quarter. But now break it. If you actually look into the scoring of that game, Virginia Tech Duke scored in the first, second, and third quarter,
Yeah,
and the majority of it came in the second. Miami's defense had a bad second quarter. The rest of the game, they gave up 17 points.
that's right. Yeah, and then and then y'all outscored Duke. Y'all like scored like 36 unanswered.
Yeah, we went on a 36-3 run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like Michigan State,
The defense
Indiana.
stepped up and shut down Duke.
Michigan State was 10 points up against Indiana, and I watched the whole game, and I thought, huh, what the heck? Yeah. 5 minutes later, touchdown, and it never stopped.
Yeah,
They still score touchdowns.
That's about how that Duke game went. Yeah,
it was absolute unbelievable. And I'm mostly impressed with Indiana. They make no mistakes. They had one in the whole game, one penalty for delaying game. It was the only penalty on the line of scrimmage, defensive or offensive.
And that's one of our biggest problems. We are the most penalized team in the conference. And you want to talk about putting up points? Duke went on a 57-yard drive, and they got 40 of those yards due to Miami penalties. And I've been calling that all season, and Miami fans say I'm just nitpicking and looking for things to complain about. Well, no, that directly led to your opponent putting points on the board. That is a problem.
Yeah, it's at Mississippi State, we say our defensive coordinator from Alabama, Hutzler, has to go. He's awful. He's absolute terrible. He's worse than Kirby Smart. And Kirby's really bad. What?
Wow.
Kirby shoved our quarterback around. He should be in jail. He should be in the chain gang of Clark County Police Department. He's a criminal.
Yeah, that's right. Because Kirby shoved a former president. Yeah, that's a federal crime.
Yeah. Van Buren was a former U.S. president.
Yeah, yes, that's a federal crime. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not known that he was practicing the Thomas Jefferson.
I tell you what, Kirby should be very patient with the culture in the locker room. He had so many arrests and dumb things, and kicking 2 people from the team is not enough. Get on this kid's money. If Etienne speeds, take the NIL away.
They did.
The complete NIL?
Yes.
Very good.
They took the NIL from the guys that made that guy in trouble.
I know this much. I know Colt.
But that's what happened.
Now I gotta point this out, and just because I know it for a fact, Colby Young wasn't beating up girls when he was at Miami.
No.
It's questionable as to we still not gotten the full details, but there is some actually some pretty good backroom scoop coming out of somebody that will know because they're in the law firm. That when truth gets told about all this, it's going to be that it was blown out of proportion.
Well, I mean, it's too late. I mean, it's too late now. He's already been indefinitely suspended. So.
Yeah. Well, and listen, I'm with Mr. Harry. Like, if it gets proved that it was a bunch of BS, and you have had plenty of those, even with college football players that eventually ended up clearing their names, he should be allowed to come back.
All right, but would he still want to come back to Georgia though?
Now that's a very good question.
Because it's kind of it would now your relationship with the team and the coaches. I feel like that's going to be kind of awkward. So I think he might be more comfortable with just leaving and going somewhere else.
That's possible, but you got to also consider now the stance that Kirby has to take the second that he's charged. he has to
All right.
be hands off. He has to get away from it because of the process involved with the school, because he got to get do school disciplinary board just as well. And in addition to his legal woes with Athens Park County, which might have been mitigated to some extent since the idiot DA was defeated in the election yesterday. So they will have an actual human being with some legal ability as the next district attorney, and that could come to play here big time.
What's up, Albert? Thanks for joining us.
I'm doing good, and you? Yeah, and no problem. So
How are you today?
What is your team, Albert?
Huh? What's that?
What is your
He's
team?
Florida.
Oh, I
A
got
Gator. I like this.
Yeah, another
like
another
you.
gator. Yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you.
cool.
Yeah, better as a false bulldog.
Yeah,
That's right.
you are.
Yeah, that's right, Nature Boy. It's not UGA's fault. Yeah.
We got these fights on who the real Tigers are in the SEC, who the real Bulldogs are, who the real UT is.
That's what makes college football fun.
You know what?
Just
I
the crap
agree.
to fuss about.
I don't care
We
if
got pretty
UGA are the real Bulldogs or Mississippi State are the false Bulldogs.
No, we're, no,
I
we're-
want my team to win and
yeah,
be
so
good
do I. Yeah.
and respected. And the last 2 years was like an atomic bombshell. Don't smoke so much, young man. You are too young to smoke.
Okay,
Yeah,
guys.
listen, it's not good for my prison record for me to quit smoking.
Yeah.
If I didn't smoke, I'd have got locked up for beating somebody's ass a long time ago.
Yeah, I have a personal question. You looks like you are my son's age. He is 36 now.
Yeah, I'm a year older.
Yeah. And if I would see him with a cigarette, I slap him. I can guarantee you that.
Well, guess what? My uncle did the first time he saw me with one.
Somehow I think slapping Slim
Good
Shady
uncle.
King is probably
Good uncle.
not going to work out well.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wouldn't go there.
I mean,
Right.
it's worked out for some. It hasn't worked out for others.
No.
Last question
Yeah.
before I leave you. UGA, Bama, UGA, Ole Miss, and LSU Bama. Who wins? I have LSU winning and Georgia in the blowout.
Yeah, I agree with you. LSU
Yeah,
and
I'm
Georgia.
gonna take Georgia and LSU. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about
still gotta
Georgia in a
see-
blowout, but
I got to see.
Yeah,
I
not
gotta see
yeah,
it
not a
right there.
blowout.
I gotta
But
see it.
Blowout is everything above 2 touchdowns.
yeah, so it's not gonna be a blowout. Yeah, not a blowout. But yeah.
Okay.
no, the only blowout that's happening this weekend is Texas is going to absolutely boat race Florida.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Ye-
I don't know.
I see another blowout.
Texas didn't exactly boat race Vandy. I mean,
Well,
I feel
so I don't
feel
let me
for
pull up
Vandy.
know that
let me pull up the
Texas
line real quick.
is gonna boat race
South-
them, but
South Carolina
Florida,
will manhandle Vandy.
The line is Texas minus 21.5.
Oh
yeah,
dang.
I think y'all could cover that. Yeah,
Now,
possibly.
the real question
Possibly.
is Harvard Columbia. That's the real game.
Okay.
Harvard is in
what's the
first place
spread
in the
on that
Ivy
one?
League, and Columbia is in second place.
And what's
So-
the spread on that one?
They usually don't put the spread up on those.
Yeah, usually there's not a line on Ivy
I
League
can't
games.
bet on
No.
Harvard and
Now-
Columbia.
Now, here's a question for you, Sven.
Oh,
You said
cool.
you would if your son walked up with a cigarette, you'd slap him. What if he walked up like me with a cigarette, absolutely covered in tattoos as well?
Yeah.
I slapped him. He's my son. He's my son.
Yeah, you're
He's
right.
my son.
Jensen.
He's my
And,
baby.
and on that note, I have to shut the stream down because I gotta leave the house.
Slim, for the record, I don't
Yeah.
slap
Okay,
him
guys.
that he smokes.
I don't
slap
think
him-
slapping a Slim Shady cane is gonna work that well.
No, I
That's right.
slap him for stupidity. He buys
Oh,
stuff
I get it.
to
Hey,
kills
I
him.
agree. Smoking is stupid, and nobody should do it. And I tell my kids that all the time, not to
Yeah.
do it. It's dumb. I wish I had never started.
Listen, guys, I gotta go. So
Yeah,
I tried that once.
yeah,
Okay.
we're
Didn't
getting
like it.
Nice round.
getting a new
Smoking once,
dog
like it.
today. So.
oh,
Shit.
congratulations.
By the way, Vic, how's my new micro? It's good?
It's
No,
better.
it's
It's
still
better.
staticky.
Okay. It's okay, but yeah.
Yeah, your microphone still produces some static.
Yeah, my mom's
Yeah, and
It may just be because he's
is
so
bringing
far
him
away.
home. Yeah, my mom is bringing him home today. So
What kind of dog is it?
Well, hopefully
gonna
we'll see him
be
on
like
social
a
video.
it's gonna be like a mix between a poodle and a golden retriever. I think they call it like a
Labradoodle?
No.
Yeah, a
no,
doodle.
no,
Yeah.
No.
Oh, God.
No. Golden
No.
Doodle. Oh shit. No.
A golden doodle. Yeah, that's right.
A Labradoodle.
doodle.
Come on, man.
I know.
So
So why?
Well,
So
Friday
why
at
is that?
5 p.m.?
Why is that bad, Harry?
My daughter,
Mm,
bless her heart, can't say
Oh,
no.
for Christ's
Was
sake.
on her jog, and she was encountered a stray golden doodle, big black as the ace of spades, but that's what he is. Big, beautiful animal, and he is just as sweet as he can be, and absolutely untrainable. Absolutely untrainable.
Well, hopefully ours will be trainable. Yeah.
And he is very loud all the time. He's worse than a German Shepherd at barking at everything that moves.
Yeah.
So
I have to upset Saturday on DVD stream. I have a bet with him. If they win with more than 30 points against State, I have to pay $1 for each point over 30.
hey, Sven, let me ask you this. Last night when the stream went down, I kept looking and I never saw it come back up. Did it?
No.
Okay.
I don't think that's a bet you have
Guys,
to worry about. I'm not worried. I don't think anybody's shaking in their shoes over Tennessee's offense.
Yeah. Hopefully nobody.
Nico is just a bad quarterback.
Yeah. Hopefully
He
nobody.
needs one more year. Nico will be good. Nico will be really good. And if he's clever,
probably.
he stays 3 years in Tennessee.
Yeah. Hopefully no one
He needs
from
3 years.
Ohio. Yeah. Hopefully no one from Ohio will try to eat him.
Guys, I'm out of here. Take care.
You ain't right, man.
Nice stream, Saleen. So, appreciate.
All right. Well, y'all take care, and I'll get on out here.
you too.
All right.
All right, y'all. I think Saleen took a phone call because he's muting himself.
I guess.
No, I'm fine.
Well, so somebody's.
No, but I got to shut down, so I had to
Wow,
respond.
somebody-
Yeah, that
Somebody
was
got a bad
Harry.
echo.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
was Harry. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Do what you got to do. I'm fixing to get in here. I just stepped outside. These kids are hopefully not destroying my house.
That's what kids do.
Yeah, right. Well, considering I spent the day picking it up because the pest control people were coming today, I rather hope not.
Well, welcome back, Slim. I hope you'll be back more often.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how things go. I mean, I've missed quite a bit because of some stuff going on.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah.
Believe me. But thank you for being here for episode 200.
Oh, sure. I'll try. I'm trying to get back around for more.
Episode 200. Wow.
Episode
Yeah, I
200.
stopped. Yeah, I stopped keeping track of mine. Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know. It's just something to keep my mind occupied.
Okay.
But thank you all for stopping by.
You
Yes,
too,
sir.
Sonny. Happy 200 to your episode.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Albert. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And thank you, Vic, for helping me get there.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
of course. Yeah, no
Thank you.
problem. Yeah.
Um, yeah, have a
Is
good day.
so is this
Goodbye.
200 including the ones, the makeup streams that I've done for you? Or
Most of
these
them,
or
yeah,
Nobody
but
says 200.
I stopped doing that. I
Okay.
stopped counting the ones you made up recently, but back when I was taking care of my dad, I count those.
All right. Yeah.
All right, see you around, Vic.
All right. See you later, Dane.
Yes, sir. And to everyone in the chat, of course, I appreciate all your participation and support over the years that I've done this. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button on the way out. It is appreciated. I'll be back next week to start the next 200 episodes with episode 201 of Wednesday Afternoon Live with me, SaleenDriver. Enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy the weekend. Good luck to all your football teams, except for you Texas fans. I hope we can beat you. We won't, but I hope so. And also go Harvard. Let's beat those candy-ass kittens from Columbia University. Don't need them to win the Ivy League. We need the Harvard Crimson to win the Ivy League. See you later.